everybody, so this is a quick video to give you an overview of Canvas. So if you got Canvas down, don't worry about watching this, but for those of you that want to really utilize this online tool to the best of your ability and sort of weed out the parts that you don't need to worry about and just focus on what you need to succeed, then please spend the time to watch this quick video that I'm going to highlight 6 parts of Canvas here for your success. So first and foremost, number 1 is the calendar. The calendar, you could find it, if you look right to the side here, right when you log in, there's a calendar there, and it has the dates highlighted when the due dates are listed for assignments. So you could see in the gray that we already have stuff for our first week here in this example where there's some due dates. Now, in your Canvas page, when you go on there, it might be a little different, but that's an important place to just glance and look at. Also, even perhaps more useful is if you scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll find the course summary. This also is a place where the due dates automatically come up. Most of the time for History 2, I try to have the due dates both on a Friday and a Monday. A Friday for the work the week through the work through the work week, and then through the weekend for you to work on some stuff, discussions to let it sort of sink in. And then have stuff due on Monday, and then have that as a clean slate for the next week work to kick off again, and we just keep the momentum going. So keep in mind those due dates, Friday and Monday mostly. Sometimes it might be a Wednesday, but if you think Friday, there must be something due, you're probably right. But you can go to it very easily, the course summary. The beauty of this too is it not only tells you the due date, what the assignment is, but you can click on it and it'll take you right to that quiz or that discussion, so you can do it right there. Number 2 is right on the Canvas page, the front page is our textbook. There's a picture of it there. If you click on it, it'll take you right to where I have it saved in the Google Drive, and you could download it there. It's weird, it'll say whoops, because it's a large file, and it'll say, are you sure you want to do this? It's a safe file, feel free to download it, feel free to save it on your computer, save it on your tablet, so that you can access it. We're going to use it throughout the class, okay? So get used to it, download it. It's better to download it and save it, so if you don't have the internet or if it's slow, you don't have to keep downloading it each time. So save that in a safe place for you to access it. Now the other things are some of the other areas on the Canvas page that I want to highlight. There's a lot of things here. There's grades, there's people, there's pages, there's assignments. You really don't need to go to all of those, just a few of them. So number 3, the announcements page. The announcements page is a good place to go, especially when you're kicking off the week, when you log in on a Monday, to kind of see some announcements. If I have questions from students about how to do something, or if there was something kind of confusing or from last week or whatever, I'll try to put in the announcements so that everybody can benefit from the question. Or if someone's saying, we're moving a little too fast, or it's just overwhelming, or there's stuff going on, or if there's something happening in the area, I could tweak things a bit, and that's the best place to let you know. Changing a due date or adding something that's useful information or whatever. I'll put it on the announcements page so you can access it there. Normally there's links right there as well, so it'll take you right to whatever we're talking about. So that's a good place to start, is the announcements page. Now there's assignments, all these things. You don't have to go to any of those really. Just focus on the modules page. If you click on the modules page, it'll take you right to our work and everything you need to do. So how I have, for example, in this one, week 1 has both the introductory material here, some information, some videos, and then the discussion for the introduction, get to know your small group. Chapter 1, the readings, some important key terms. The key terms are not mandatory, but they are to help you, because when we have the exam at the end of the term, a lot of it's based on those key terms. So if you can go there and add information to it if you want to, when you come back to review for the exam, you can go right to those key terms and get the information right there. So it does benefit you, it benefits everybody if you can add information to the wiki for each chapter, so as when we come back to it at the end, it'll be another study tool for you. So Chapter 1, Chapter 2, the video overviews, some readings, the wiki terms, all that is information to help you really get the concepts, and that'll help you with the discussion and reading quizzes. Reading quizzes, again, are to benefit you, to help you with information in the reading. It's also to help you at the end with the exam, but all that information comes together for your discussions. And so you have a section at the end of each week with the discussions that helps go over both chapter and comparisons. World Civ is all about comparing different societies and way of looking at things. So you'll see a lot, about 3 discussions a week. So it's quite a bit of writing. So even though it says it's due March 2nd or March 5th, even though it's due on a Monday, and you think, oh, it's only Tuesday, the week before, it's good to get on it right away while it's fresh on your mind. Even right after you do the reading, just go ahead and start thinking how you're going to answer the discussion questions and get writing on it and post it. You can always add to it later, but you can add a lot of information and post it. So you can click on it right away. The beauty about this too is it always has the due date and how much it's worth. So there's never any question of when is it due, when is it, when I have to do this. It'll tell you right on the assignment right there. So this modules page is a much easier tool than if you go to each assignments and try to find the information on the pages. It's all organized and layered for you. So just go to the modules and get the reading material there. Now, as the next week comes, I'll post another stuff, and it'll keep building on itself. And you'll always have access to it. So when it comes to the end and we have our exam, you can always go back to previous discussions, you can go back to the wiki, you can go back to the information here, and that'll help you rock the exam at the end. Another thing that might be helpful for you is on the grades page. I recommend it tells you exactly what the assignments are and what your grade will be. So already we have these discussions posted, tells you what they're out of. Of course, there's no score yet because I didn't do the assignments. I'm a bad student. But once they're graded and once you go onto your page, it'll have both the score, how much it's out of, but if you haven't done it, it'll tell you, or if it hasn't been graded, you can click on it, it'll take you to the page. What I try to do as well, especially with discussions early on, are to put comments on those discussions of how to improve it. So if you find you have a 10 or a 9, a low score, you might click on it and see what I said about it to help you improve your grade for next time. If you got a 15 out of 15, most likely won't say too much because you got it down, and we'll move from there. But if there's constructive criticism with a lower grade, that'll help you to push it up to what you need to do to improve. So always check on the grades, see how you're doing, see if you're missing assignments. That helps you be communicative with me, to ask me questions if stuff are going on, as things do in life, so you can let me know what's up and how you're doing in the class as we're going through. So the last one is not a mandatory thing, but it's something that might be useful to you, and that is the chat. You're put into small groups of 10, and with all this information and stuff for quizzes and discussions and then exam at the end, it might be useful for you to collaborate as much as possible, and feel free to do so. So as I clicked on this chat room here, you'll see that no one's here, but there's one person in here. That's me all by myself. But you might in your small group say, hey, you know what? Let's all, have our textbooks open. Let's have, look at the material, study, and you could have your computer on and have the chat on, and you can all be in there together and have a little cup of tea or something and have a discussion about how to go over the material. That's up to you. Some students really enjoyed that. That brings you, kind of like if you're working together in a classroom, it brings it, a little more impersonal, but also a little more interactive for you. But that's up to you to utilize if you wish to do so. This is also a place that if you really can't get something and it's just it's harder to email back and forth with me, we can schedule some time. We can go in here together and we can have a chat. And I'd be happy to go over some information or questions or whatever you have, whether it's this class or academics in general. So those are the things that will really utilize your time, really utilize your success of this class, and help you rock History 2.